A BC snowboarder says he has a new perspective on life after he was buried alive under several feet of snow for 5 hours. Trevor Hamry was riding at Kicking Horse Mountain late last month when he hit a tree stump. He didn't suffer any major injuries, but the 40-year-old father was pinned under 2 fallen trees. Well, Trevor Hamry is still in Golden, but as you can see, in much safer circumstances now. And Trevor, let's pick up this fascinating story at the moment you started to fall and tell us what happened next.
So my board clipped a log under the snow. I believe the log was cut, actually. And what happened was I fell into 3 trees that had been snags. They had fallen sideways. And so they had a bunch of snow covering them, and I didn't know they were there. But when I fell right into a space underneath them, which trapped me under 2 logs, one over my head and one over my chest and waist.
You described the circumstances you were in there as coffin-like. So as people watch this from home now, as best you can, describe how you felt and how tightly packed in there you were.
So initially, when I fell, I was buried, my waist down. My head was down slope. I was on my back, and I was fully covered with snow. I had to remove the snow from my mouth and my face really frantically. I had about a foot of space in there around my head, and then I moved that snow away, and I kept digging to get to my leg so that I knew that was up. I knew I fell quite a ways down. I was probably about 6 feet under, and the one saving grace really was that the trees were perpendicular to me, so they had a little bit of air pocket space to the right and left that I was able to pack the snow away into.
Obviously, most of the people who are watching right now have never been in anything close to this circumstance, and so help us understand what it was like at the point at which you realized you couldn't get yourself out. You're an able-bodied guy. You weren't injured badly. Why weren't you able to dig yourself out?
So I was on my back, and my head was down slope. So all the gravity, I guess, was pushing me down slope. So all my weight was on my head. My legs were straight up, and the snowboard was still on my feet. So and that was in the hole. So I really didn't have any way to pull myself out or get out at all. The space was like a few inches around me. Within about 45 minutes, I was reburied by a skier that didn't hear me and happened to, I got another foot or 2 of snow on my face and chest, and I was able to pack that out to the side, but unfortunately that was all the space I had. So it was a tiny, tiny space. I could literally just moved my hands over my chest and face, and that was everything I had. I just exercised as I could and stayed warm, kept calling throughout the day. I was counting the skiers. 5 hours went by and only 4 skiers. I had no idea of the time, though.
And so you presumably don't know how much oxygen there is in there to breathe. You certainly have no idea how long you're going to be in there. And I guess it was breath, and then yell for help?
Yeah, absolutely. And with your head 6 feet down in a hole, you don't think the volume's going out very far. When I started digging my body out, I got to a point where I could see air. I could see the sun. So I knew it was still afternoon, but that was pretty much all I had. And I knew I had some air, but yeah, it was really scary when I didn't have any air, when it was all enclosed. After I dug out, I calmed down quite a bit and just relaxed as much as I could and hoped for someone to rescue me. But at the same time, I was trying as hard as I could in so many different ways to get out of that hole. And
how many hours before someone finally heard you and the rescue began?
Very lucky. 5 hours went by, really. The guy that found me, that's why I was lucky, I guess, was that he just happened to pause about 30 meters downslope and heard me screaming. And then we created a rapport. He came up. He shoveled away a lot of the snow around me with his hands, but he had to call ski patrol to come in and dig me out.
Well, you had a helmet, you were well dressed, you didn't have a cell phone. I know you take one with you now and a whistle, but it's an incredible story with a happy ending. And Trevor Hamry, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you very much, and then tell all your people listening that please definitely ski with a buddy, but also, take every moment you can to respect your family and friends. So that they're amazing. Everything just turned out so positive in the end. I got out okay, and the reconnection with all my friends and family has just been incredible.
Yeah, I know it's been a life-changing moment for you for sure. Thank you so much.
All the little stuff just became little.